ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णकृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनेति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशकारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तः हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण. We will continue our discussion on what Prabhupada has to share on this topics. Prabhupada has his own important wisdom to share. He wanted to his compassion. So here we are discussing the conversation between Swayambhu Manu and Kardam. So very great personalities. We'll try to understand from their point. Here Swayambhu Manu is saying, I heard that Vishwavasu, the great Gandharva, his mind stupefied with infatuation, fell from his aeroplane after seeing your daughter playing with a ball on the roof of the palace. For she was indeed beautiful with her twinkling ankle bells and her eyes moving to and fro. Opa says, it is understood that not only at the present moment, but in those days there were skyscrapers. Herein we find the word Priyam Prishthe. Here means a very big palatial building. Syat Vimanat means his own aeroplane. It is suggested that private aeroplanes or helicopters were also current in those days. The Gandharva, Vishwavasu was flying in the sky, could see Devati playing ball on the roof of the palace. Ball playing was also current, but aristocratic girls would not play in a public place. Ball playing and other such pleasures were not meant for ordinary women and girls. Only princes like Devati could indulge in such sports. It is described here that she was seen from the flying aeroplane. This indicates that the palace is very high. Otherwise, how could one see her from an aeroplane? The vision was so distinct that Gandharva Vishwavasu was bewildered by her beauty, and by hearing the sound of her ankle bells and being captivated by the sound and beauty, he fell down. Kardamuni mentioned the incident as he has heard it. So now there will be so many things to be understood here that Kardamuni Prabhupada is telling that ball playing was also current, but aristocratic girls, and that is also not in public. And such pleasures are not meant for ordinary women and girls. It looks very racial or it is discriminatory. Basically, because the purpose of life is different, so the value systems are different. So that's why whatever they are doing, it's a different understanding. That is the most important thing. Like it is not connected to the entertainment what we are having because they have a different value systems. Like say now somebody is studying, if somebody is preparing for IIT and medicine entrance, NEET, that is the norm, like especially in South India. Everybody has to prepare. So then they are considered that they are doing things in a normal way. But but it was not like that maybe 20 years back, 30 years back. 20, 30 years back it was there, but it was not like maybe 100 years back. It was a different value system. And now if you go little more, the value system will change. Now we cannot say this statement based on now what it is. It was previous time. So the value system is different. So based on that value system, then it is not encouraged. Now the value system has changed. There is different coordinates we look at. Like Prabhupada, first he gave Brahman initiation in US when he was in America. He gave only to Prabhujis. And that day all the Matajis, they became very upset. That Brahman initiation is only for men. Then Prabhupada called next day all Matajis and said, okay, you will also get Brahman initiation. In Vedic culture, there is no Brahman initiation for women only. It is only for men. If man is a Brahmana, if a woman marries a Brahmana, she becomes a Brahmani. No need of separate initiation only. They need not chant Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra is only for them, men. But now Prabhupada understood. Now it's a different situation. That's why he gave Brahman initiation to Matajis also. It was not there in Vedic culture. So when Prabhupada came to India, they criticized Prabhupada. How can you give Brahman initiation to women? Why they are chanting Gayatri Mantra? They are not supposed to. Means Vedic culture, they don't chant. It is only for. Now why they are chanting? Then they criticized Prabhupada. Then disciples came and told Prabhupada, Prabhupada, they are telling, they are criticizing you like that. He's giving Brahman initiation to Matajis. Prabhupada said, they don't know anything. They never came to West. Prabhupada said there are no women in the West. Women in the West means not like the way Vedic women. They are more because their nature has changed so much. They are men only, but woman body like that. What Prabhupada means the nature has so much the fermentation, what is it, the adaptation became so wrong. Here also, if she is a Vedic woman, she herself will not like doing it. It's not that somebody has to force. No, you have to be at home and you cannot play. It is not like that. Because there are no co-education. Women were happy doing what they are doing. They don't, even if somebody says come and play, they say why we should play? We don't need it. It's like that. They are happy what they are doing. Here also now presently, like because co-education and they are seeing boys are doing, the girls also think we should also do like that. And now we see they also want to wear the same dress of men. Men don't wear women's dress. Women wear men's dress. And now they say it's not men's dress. Anybody can wear. But why? Because they want to be equal, but it is not possible. They have their own things, men has their own things. Because men has some controlling capacity. They feel that okay, they are superior. And then women don't want to be dominated. She want to imitate. So it's all complicated. We'll not go into this. But here what I'm telling is when this statement is coming, it is meant not meant for ordinary women and only for princes like Devati who can indulge in such sports. It means that they it is and uh, they are not forcing anybody. It's value system. It is a value system. They don't like it. Now if somebody comes and says some of mothers they say can you play cricket, some say no we don't want. So they don't want, some like some don't like, so we will not want to do something. But if they stay play with like they're studying co-education and all, then the system is different. Anyway, we don't want to make controversy here, but we are trying to make you understand that the value systems were different that time. So women don't feel the need like. And another thing is skyscrapers. Skyscrapers building they started in the modern era when there was flexible steel, when you can bend steel. That time they started this lift, because lift came, then the skyscrapers building came because you cannot climb so high. And then they started when the lift system came, and lift came when they're able to bend steel. They make it a flexible steels. We need our lift flexible steel. In that way, they created lifts. When lift came, skyscrapers building. But in previous ages, there was no lift. They were walking. But I don't know what is the detail because we didn't see any skyscrapers, but we can see in the paintings and all. And any other buildings that are made like that, they have staircase 5, 6, 7 like that. And here it must be really big. And Kardamuni says, what wise man would not welcome her, the very ornament of womanhood, the beloved daughter of Swayambhu Manu and sister of Uttanapada. Those who have not worshipped the gracious feet of the goddess of fortune cannot even perceive her. Yet she has come to her own accord to seek my hand. Because they stay in a very, what do you say, in a restricted area. Restricted in the sense they're very nicely protected there in the palace. They generally don't go out. So ordinary people don't get even the to see such people. That's why here when it's telling not ordinary people can see. Even if they go outside, they are in a palanquin covered, and then they can go come. They are not just seen strolling on road for shopping and and other. They are not going for a movie or a hotel. You cannot see them like that. Nowadays, anybody can see, and they only want to be seen. They want to be in social media and they want to be famous. All these rich people. But previously, it was not like that. Now we may say, oh, it is also some type of suppression for women. It is not suppression. One thing is they don't want. Second is it is protection. Another is there is no social media that so you cannot get access their photo and all. Nobody. If anybody want to have photo, they have to draw it, and then they don't feel need. They may come in the assembly sometimes when there is a court or marriage or something. They may be seen for giving darshan for some. They'll get some glance of people will get, and that's all. Otherwise, it is not possible to even see them, and they don't feel restricted. They feel very comfortable. They're happy with their whatever they have, and that's what now. What is the problem is we see through our vision, our conditioned nature. We see the world. For me, happiness is this. Now we think that Devhuti is not coming out of palace. Then we see, oh, she's suffering because what we see is happiness means you should go around, you should be free, you should play, you should go for movie shopping. That is the definition of our happiness. And when we see somebody is not getting, we feel they are suffering. That is the point. It's not that whether they are suffering or not. Like no, my mother, she was not interested to go to anybody's house. She is always at home, taking care of us, cooking. Hardly, I can just count how many times she never goes to anybody's house. She don't even like. I say, "Arey, why don't you go out?" She said, no, why I should go? She's happy that's and now she goes for some visiting holy places. She likes holy places and all. She never like. Now for her that is happiness. So it's how the programming is. It's not whether they are suffering or not. It based on what you consider as important. For them it does not matter only. I need not go out anywhere. I'm happy like this. And their happiness is more when they are taking care of husband and children. When some people's happiness will be, I'm not telling going out is wrong. I'm telling how their mindset is based on that. Now that time, the Vedic culture women, they feel little more like they say this somebody is wearing hijab and other things, they cover their faces, they feel they're suppressed. But the women may not feel like that. They're happy. They don't want to be seen by anyone. They want only their husband and family members to see them. They feel protected like that. They feel happy also. Not every woman who is wearing all this murkanda, they're unhappy. No, they're happy. They don't want everybody to look at them. Many of them, they don't want to go to some public places. Normal women also, they because they see that many people are looking at them, they don't like, they don't appreciate. So it's all value system. We should not say this is right or wrong. Now they want, it's different. That time they didn't want, it's different. So their happiness is different only. We cannot say there is restrictions and no, there was what do you say? There is suppression of women in Vedic culture. There is no suppression. That is what they are, and it is considered insult for them only to come in public. When Sita was told by Lord Ram that Lakshman bring her in public, then it was like a big surprise. How can she walk through public and come? And it's insult for her alone. They also don't like to come in public like that. There's a different value system. Now, Prabhupada has some nice points to say. Kardamuni praised the beauty and qualification of Devati in different ways. Now, interestingly, even though there was no social media, Kardamuni also knows about Devahuti. That this happened, Vishwasu, he fell from his aeroplane. Means that must be a talk of the town. What is the discussion that happens for a person who want to get married is who are all the beautiful women around and what is their qualification, which princess, which sage. This is the discussions even that time also. If it is happening now, we should not be surprised. Even that time also, such news are spread around. This, you know what happened when Vishwasu was flying and she saw the beauty, he saw the beauty of her and he fell from the aeroplane. It's a big discussion, maybe big news that time. And Devahuti was actually the ornament of all ornamented beautiful girls. A girl becomes beautiful by putting ornaments on her body, but Devahuti was more beautiful than the ornament. She was considered the ornament of ornamented beautiful girls. Demigods and Gandharvas were attracted by her beauty. Kardamuni, although a great sage, was not a denizen of heavenly planet, but it is mentioned in previous verses that Vishwasu, who came from heaven, was also attracted by the beauty of Devati. Besides her personal beauty, she was the daughter of Empress Swayambhu and sister of King Uttanamata. Who could refuse the hand of such girls? That time also, many such great kings, their daughters married demigods. That is not given in Bhagavatam. But very special cases like Devahuti, who have done very great thing like marrying Kardama, which is by hearing this, like you can write so many history stories. We say, no, why there is no history in Vedic culture is you can write so many. This king married, this king's daughter married that Gandharva, this Gandharva married this. So many stories we can write because it's a big time, but that is not going to benefit anyway in a spiritual way or any to elevate ourselves. But this story, Arey, Devahuti married, she didn't marry any demigod because demigods they must be marrying so many earthly women who are very beautiful and earthly kings must be marrying so many things. But how does it help us? But Devahuti, this story will help us because she chose Kardamana. I say, Arey, you are from a big palace and that too your father is Swayambhu Manu. No, he is like number one person in the whole creation, as he is only creating all human. And his daughter is marrying whom? Some sage. You know why is like that? Because that is the purpose of life, to elevate spiritually. That's the point here. We get a good lesson from this pastime that the purpose of life for Devahuti is not to do sense gratification. She want to be elevated. And Swayambhu Manu also took that. He, of course, that time all his three daughters are married to three sages only. The point here is Swayambhu Manu married all three daughters. Swayambhu Manu knows that my daughter should be elevated spiritually. And for that, I should give them in. Now, generally, what a father thinks, let me give my daughter to somebody who is more richer than me, so that she will have more comfortable life. That is what generally a father's desire will be. But here, we see that here Kardamuni, Swayambhu Manu is marrying to Kardamuni, who is not very rich, but he is rich in terms of spiritual advancement. So here the calculation is spiritual advancement, not material prosperity. And now Kardamuni he agrees. Therefore, I shall accept this chaste girl as my wife on the condition that after she bears semen from my body, I shall accept the life of devotional service accepted by the most perfect human beings. That process was described by Lord Vishnu. It is free from envy. He is very clear why he is entering into family life. This is also sorry, yeah, and this is what 4.30 Bhagavad Gita Krishna is saying. When you do an activity, you know why you are doing, and you are entering into that activity, then you will not get reaction from it. Otherwise, you will be born, and that means you are doing in a form of yajna. And yajna also we should know what I am going to get from the yajna. That is the formula. We need to know how this yajna is performed and what I am going to get from it. Kardamani is also entering like that. He is doing it as an yajna. That is the training they need to get in Gurukul. Why children are sent to Gurukul? Boys, they train, They understand I have to do a sacrifice. Vivaha yajna. Yajna means sacrifice, right? I already have certain conditions. I want to get rid of my conditioned nature. That's why I have to perform activity. Activity is to help us get rid of our conditioned nature, not to increase the conditioned nature. When we can free from conditioned nature, like I have a desire to marry, means I want to enjoy the sense gratification with the opposite sex. Now, how to get rid of it? You go to Vivaha Yajna, perform it as Yajna, you enjoy, but you will not get entangled. You can be free from that conditionings. That is the system. But now the training is not there. People enter into it, but they cannot come out of it. They continue entangling, and it happens life after life. Because there is no training. You are entering, but this is a risk. Kardam is so conscious. Before marriage only, he is very clear that this is what I am going to do. Finish. It's not for like, okay, after marriage, he is going for honeymoon and then some chill. Now, I have done sufficient austerities. Now, let me reap the fruits. Let me have a chill. No, he's not doing. And immediately after marriage, again, he sits for meditation and tapasya only. It's very clear. Even little bit traces are there. Like this is even yogis also do. The yogis, what they do? Like say, yogis have some conditionings. There is a desire to enjoy some things, and now they are sitting in Himalayas and they are doing tapasya, but they know that the traces of this enjoyment still they are there. What they do, they made their duplicates, and with that duplicate body, they go enjoy that and finish that body, and in that way they are safe. It is not possible for ordinary people. For yogis, that's why they have this siddhis. So yes, they use their siddhi, they know I have this conditioning. They expand, do the activity consciously, get rid of that impressions, and continue their meditation and elevate themselves to higher planet systems. The term I forgot, what the term that is used. That's how. So here Kardamuni, he is not he is going to expand, but he is going to expand to please Devahuti. That's a different scene. But the main point is that they are conscious. They know what they are doing. They are not just doing in an emotional state. They are doing very consciously. Nowadays, all these marriages, they are making it more emotional. Because of which, what happens? Of course, without emotion, there is no enjoyment. But it should be very carefully done. The training should be very nicely done. Otherwise, all these headaches are there, which are happening nowadays. And now people want marriages like enjoyment, and it does not come, then you go separation. Any frustration, anything is happening because of the desire to enjoy, or even not desire to enjoy, even if they expect support, then also there is no support, then also it is difficult. Like even acharyas, they are also married, but it is not for sense gratification. They want certain support. They expect that this should happen, this support in devotional service. And that Kardamani expressed his desire for a very beautiful wife to Emperor Swayambhuman and accepted the emperor's daughter for marriage. Kardamani was in hermitage practicing complete celibacy as a brahmachari, and although he had the desire to marry, he did not want to be householder for the whole span of life because he was conversant with the Vedic principles of human life. According to Vedic principles, the first part of life should be utilized in brahmacharya for the development of character and spiritual qualities. In the next part of life, one may accept a wife and beget children, but one should not beget children like cats and dogs. Prabhupada is very clear about it. He gives a very huge purport in this. And important point is like why beautiful wife? You can have anybody, na? Like why he need a beautiful wife? He just want to renounce afterwards because the nature is there. You there is what do you say? Creation is made in such a way because to fulfill the desire, you need certain requirements are there. Kardamani desired to beget a child who would be a ray of Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should beget a child who can perform the duties of Vishnu. Otherwise, there is no need to produce children. Of course, it didn't happen in Prabhupada's case. That is how Krishna arranged for Prabhupada to come out of it very fast. Like Prabhupada told uh, Tamal Krishna Maharaj. I asked my wife, "You want tea or me?" And my wife chose tea instead of me. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj says, "We thank your wife, Prabhupada, for choosing tea instead of you because she chose tea, we got you." So Krishna arranged such a situation for Prabhupada that we can come out very fast and it is helpful for us. And when it come to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it was completely opposite. There is full cooperation. Bhagavati Devi is a very exalted personality. So, Krishna's arrangement for pure devotees. But in normal cases, Prabhupada says, there there are two kinds of children born of good fortune. One is educated in Krishna consciousness so that he can be delivered from the clutches of Maya in that very life. And other is a ray of Supreme Personality of God and teaches the world the ultimate goal of life. As will be described in the later chapters, Kardamani begot such a child, Kapila, the incarnation of personality God, who initiated the philosophy of Sankhya. Great householders pray to God to send his representative so that there may be an auspicious movement in human society, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur paid for Bhaktisiddhanta sister. This is one reason to beget a child. Another reason is that a highly enlightened parent can train a child in Krishna consciousness so that the child will not have to come back again to this miserable world. Prabhupada could train so many of living entities in this world. So his children could not, but Prabhupada trained so many other children. Parents should see to it that the child born of them does not enter the womb of another mother again. Unless one can train a child for liberation in that life, there is no need to marry or produce children. It was so heavy. If human society produced children like cats and dogs for for the disturbance of social order, then the world becomes hellish, as it has in this age of Kali. In the age, neither parents nor the children are trained. Both are animalistic and simply eat, sleep, mate, depend, and gratify the senses. And this is what is happening in the present world. This disorder in social life cannot bring peace in human society. We can see every day, don't see the news, but that's what in the news is. How could he would simply associate with her husband until he had a child. In other words, sex life should be utilized only to produce a nice child, not for any other purpose. Human life is especially meant for complete devotion to the service of Lord. That is the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya. Now, why Lord created this system is we always have this human nature is to manipulate everything or exploit everything. Lord created this system so that man takes responsibility. So there is a pleasure that is given in the act, so that man takes responsibility of the family life. If there is no pleasure in that, then he will not stay in the family life. Who can give up the pleasure? He can give up this family life. That is the point. And here, but what happens in the present situation? People only exploit it. They say no children, but we'll enjoy that. That's a punishment. And Prabhupada, after fulfilling his responsibility to produce nice child, one should take sannyas. So encouraging and engage in the perfection Paramahamsa stage. Paramahamsa refers to the most highly elevated perfectional stage of life. There are four stages within sannyasi life, and Paramahamsa is the highest one. Like people say, Prabhuji is so hard. Like some of my friends or somebody says, this must be very hard for you, no? You didn't marry. They say, no, this is the easiest. It must be very tough. I don't know what is tough in this. This is the most easiest thing anybody can do is just renounce and just read Bhagavatam. This is actually most easy life compared to family. Mm. But people don't understand. Like when Krishna is telling that Ehi sansparsya abhoga dukhayo nevate, we when we don't enjoy, give up the desire to enjoyment, we are afraid to do it. Because we think, how can I be happy if I give up the desire to enjoy? We don't trust Krishna. That is the point. We are happy to be sick. Sometimes sickness gives certain advantages. I discussed yesterday. Like when sometime when I'm in school days, I also remember. Sometimes I used to feel, why don't I become sick so that I need not go to school? It's an advantage. Hardly I used to become sick. I used to think, I know some children they don't come, they say we are sick. I used to feel very sad. Arey, they are so fortunate they became sick. So sometimes we go to mother, I'm getting headache or I'm sick, some fever is there. Mother looks and says, shut up, no fever, get go to school. There is advantage in being sickness. We can do that. So here the sickness of lust, greed, pride, anger gives certain advantage. So we can continue and we don't want to get out of this sickness. Prabhupada writes further. The Paramahamsa is free from envy. We can be, it's a very nice state to be happy. In other stages, even in the household stage of life, there is competition and envy. But since the activities of human being in the Paramahamsa stage are completely engaged Krishna conscious devotional service, there is no scope for envy. In the same order as Kardamani, about 100 years ago, Thakur Bhaktivinoda also wanted to beget a children who could preach the philosophy of teachings of Lord Chaitanya to the fullest extent. And by his prayers, the Lord hears child Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, who at the present moment is preaching philosophy of Lord Chaitanya throughout the entire world. So, Prabhupada is giving credit to his Guru. Now, next, Prabhupada has so many important things to share here. Purports are big. I don't want to rush also. I can just read, but we'll go a little slowly. We may lag, but it's good also. The highest authority for me is the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom this wonderful creation emanates and in whom its sustenance and dissolution rest. He is the origin of all Prajapatis, the personalities meant to produce living entities in this world. This is what Kardamuni says. Prabhupada says Kardamuni was ordered by his father Prajapati to produce children. Now, interestingly, Brahma is father for Swayambhuvan also and Kardamuni also. In that way, they are brothers. You cannot marry brother's daughter, but here that rule don't apply. So, we cannot. Both are Brahma's son only, but it does not apply here. Generally, she is also daughter for Kardamuni in one way because it's brother's daughter. But this is, and if you see Swayambhuvan and Shatrupa, they are both from Brahma only. So it's brother and sister, but that does not apply there. In the beginning of creation, the Prajapatis were meant to produce a large population which was to reside in the planets of gigantic universe. But Kardamuni said that although his father was Prajapati, he desired him to produce children. Actually, his origin was the Supreme Personality of God Vishnu, because Vishnu is the origin of everything. He is actual creator of this universe. So here when Kardamuni is telling, he is referring to Supreme Lord when he is telling Prajapati order. He is also his father in that way. That is the conclusion of the Srimad Bhagavatam. For creation, maintenance, and alienation, there are three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. But Brahma and Maheshwara are qualitative expansions of Vishnu. Vishnu is a central figure. Vishnu therefore takes charge of maintenance. No one can maintain the whole creation. This is very important. No one can maintain. Even that's what happens for all of us. Maintenance is mode of goodness. Even to maintain family also, person should be in goodness. Some goodness is there to maintain. But what happens is there is so much passion nowadays. That's why people are not responsible. They don't know how to maintain. They mess up their life, others' life, everything is gone. We are nicely practicing bhakti, we can nicely maintain because Krishna will help Vishnu. There are innumerable entities and they have innumerable demands. No one but Vishnu can fulfill the innumerable demands of all innumerable living entities. Can you imagine such a task? Even if demigods, people go to demigod, they don't want to go to Supreme Lord. They go to demigods and ask, I want this, I want that. And Krishna tells, Mayeva vihitan hitan. Even the demigods, I only give them and throw them only you get it. It's not the demigod giving. So directly, indirectly, this, that, everything is Supreme Lord only. Kardamani know well by his power in progressive spiritual life that Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, was his worshipable deity. Whatever Vishnu desired was his duty and nothing else. He was not prepared to beget a number of children. He would beget only one child who would help the mission of Vishnu. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, whenever there is discrepancy in the discharge of religious principles, the Lord descends to surface on earth to protect religious principles and it. So here Lord Kapila appears to help the sages. That time sages need some guidance. Then Lord wanted to come, he chose Kardamuni and Kardamuni understood Lord is choosing me. The match was perfect between Kardamuni and Supreme Lord. Because there should be always somebody who is guiding and teaching. And now Prabhupada came. It's such a great benediction for whole humanity because he gave so much guidance. He gave so much enlightenment. If it is not Prabhupada, this time what we'll be doing? We'll be eating our breakfast, drinking tea, sitting in front of TV and suffering like anything. Now we're reading Bhagavatam. This is all because of Prabhupada. So one and similarly, such great personalities appear. Can you imagine what is like? We're sitting and discussing Bhagavatam in the morning time. There will be just hearing some news and we should not hear so much. All these Bangladesh and all, na? Devotee should not so much. It is not our job. We should let it do. There are so many secular, what is it, Hindu people organizations. It is their job. It's not our job. We should not post also in our status and all these things. It is, we should know it's Krishna is doing everything. It's all Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was there, who was ruling Bengal? Nawab Hussain Shah. Who was ruling the country that time? It was the Mughal Empire. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not do anything. He did not, he knows that this is going to happen in future. Bengal was ruled by him. They killed many Hindus. Why Chaitanya Prabhu did not stop? Because it all happens because of karma. You kill animals, the Bengalis, they are eating so many fish. They are killing so many fish and eating. Should they not get reaction for it? Yes, they'll get reaction. So stop non-veg. Nobody will do anything to you. It's all reaction. It's a cumulative karma. The so-called politicians you are getting, and they are doing all nonsense. Is yeah. When you get everything money, what you do? You drink. You eat non-veg, and the cumulative karma forms. You get such a leader for you. That's all. In China, they are eating so many animals. They eat every animal. And what is the karma? They get a leader like him, who is a dictator. And then they don't have any freedom to express anything. So you are paying for your karma. So it's applicable for everyone like that. You behave in a particular way, you get certain karma, you have to pay for it. You stop eating, you are telling, oh, so many atrocities. Sir, you stop atrocities on animals first. You stop eating non-veg, you stop eating fish. Nothing will happen to you. Nobody can do anything. If your karma is good, who can touch anybody? Nobody can touch. If they are touching, it means there is some mistake from their part. So it's, we should not much get into involved in all these things. Our thing is practice pure devotional service, preach pure devotional service. We may say, what will happen to Hindus? What will happen? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will take care. We have to take care of pure devotional service. Prabhupada did not. Prabhupada was also doing the same thing. He went, he said, no, Gandhi movement, this, that. But Siddhanta Thakur said, no, that is all political situations. It is going to change always. Don't bother about it. Preach Krishna consciousness. Even Prabhupada was like that. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said no. And Prabhupada tells my guru defeated me. Defeated in what? Different this only. And we are doing the same thing. Everybody is putting in the status and Bangladesh, this, that. That is not our job. We sympathize, we encourage these Hindu organizations, but we don't participate, we sympathize, we try to encourage these Hindu organizations. Ourselves, we should not do it. Personally, we should do pure devotional service. We should not put in status, we should not share these things. That is not our job. We should not share. Devotees, you share only devotional content. We should only we should only practice on this. We should not distract our mind. We purely practice, like I'll tell a story. It's a very nice story. How to protect the dharma. The story is like there was a king, I forgot the name of king. He was at the time of the Treta Yuga, at the time of Lord Ram. He was following Dharma so perfectly, so perfectly. And he used to collect taxes from the people and used to spend all the taxes on the citizens only, on the subjects. He was not taking anything. He just had little farm, and in that he used to cultivate and take that much. And was nicely ruling. One time there was a function. His wife didn't had any jewelry or anything. She's very simple because he didn't had much. He didn't use the tax for his own self. And his wife, she went to the function. Every other woman came with nice jewelry and all. She didn't had anything. She was in a simple. Everybody little bit mocked her. They said, "What is this? You are a king's wife and you are a queen. You don't have anything. You are like this." And she became very upset. She came back and told her husband, "Oh, everybody is making fun of me. Do something." He said, "You know our life. We just don't take any tax. We just depend on our crop. And how can you expect?" She was upset. She said, "No, I want at any cost. You give me." Then he said, "Okay." That time Ravana was ruling Lanka. So he sends one of his courtmen, "Go to Lanka, tell Ravana to pay tax for me." And this person, he goes to Lanka and he says, "So and so our king is asking tax from you." And Ravana, he just almost slipped from his seat. He said, "Who is this king? Arre, demigods are afraid of me. And this some king, even I don't know name, even I forgot the name." I read the story. Even I don't know the name also, this person, and he's asking me to pay tax. And Ravana could not understand. He said, "Okay." And that person who came, he said, "Okay, think, and tomorrow you let me know, I'm going." So he goes. And Ravana was quite upset that day, what is happening. And he goes, and then Mandodari, she looks at him and says, "Is there anything? You are a little annoyed." He said, "Arey, somebody comes and tells me to pay tax. What is this?" And as soon as Mandodari hears the name of king, she says, "Did you pay, na?" Ravana says, "You are in senses or what? How can I pay? What is this I should pay?" And then Ravana went to sleep, and Mandodari could not sleep whole night. And next day morning, Ravana, when he is going to his duties, morning performing his puja and all, the Mandodari calls, "Come with me." She takes him to the terrace and she says, "See," then she feeds pigeons every day. So there are so many pigeons she is feeding. And he tells to Ravana, "See, on your name I will tell the pigeons, if you eat the grains on the name of Ravana, I curse that your head will break to pieces if you are eating. And I am going to say this to the pigeons." Ravana says, "They are pigeons. What they will understand our language?" He says, "No, you see." And then she says, "On the name of Ravana, I curse you that if you eat the grains which are there now, your head will break." Not even one pigeon bothered to look at it. They did not even lift their eyelids if they have anything. And then she said, "Okay, now on the name of the king, whose messenger came, on his name, I curse. If you eat the grains, your head will break." Immediately, all the pigeons stopped eating, except one who was deaf. He could not hear. He ate, and his head burst into pieces. Ravana was surprised. What is happening here? So he goes, and then in the court, after some time, this messenger comes and says, "Ravana, did you decide you are giving the tax?" Ravana said, "If I see you again here, I am going to kill you and go back." But then the messenger said, "Okay, you come with me to the beach, the ocean shore." Because from morning only Ravana was thinking the incident what happened with Mandodari. He said, "Okay, let me come. You want to see what is going to happen." He went, he took him, and he made with the mud, he made a replica of Lanka. And he said, "Ravana, you see, this is the Lanka." He said, "Okay, this is a replica of Lanka." So he said, "On the name of this king," and he destroys one gate of this module he made. Immediately, the gate of Lanka breaks, and Ravana understood everything. He goes and gives so much of gold, and he says, "Okay, this is the tax you take." And he goes back to the kingdom, gives to the king. Kings goes and give to the queen. And queen asks, "How did you get all these things?" He said, "Ravana paid the tax." And his wife was surprised. "How did it happen?" And they caught that uh, the courtier and he said, okay, tell me, explain. So he gives all the detail. So this is all what happened. Then wife said, I don't need any more gold because I have you. Such a rage. Now here, the point what I want to make is, if you follow dharma, even Ravana has to surrender. He also cannot do anything. For devotees, we have to follow dharma. Our dharma is savai pumsam paro dharmo eto bhaktri. We follow pure devotional service, na whole country will be protected. Nobody can do anything. Whole area wherever you are, na everything is protected. We just have to do pure devotional service. So one king, even Ravana could not do anything because dharma is so powerful. We have to hold dharma like that. We have to practice. Now, if people get money, what they are doing? They are eating non-veg. They are drinking alcohol. They're just no, all these four ingredients are finished. Now, what do you expect? This is what is good. All these are cumulative karma of the society that is manifested in this form. The leaders are the radicals and all these things are basically the karma of the people who are there. They are doing wrong. If they follow properly, everything is proper. You just have to do pure devotional service. Why we need all these things? Prabhupada did not tell. Anyway, I'm sorry that I many of them are upset with my understanding, but I'm very so this is what is our dharma. We just have to follow. Marriage and begetting a child is considered to liquidate one's debt to the family in which one is born. Oh, this is another important topic. Maybe tomorrow we'll discuss. There are many debts which are imposed upon a child just after his birth. These are the debts to the family in which one is born, debts to demigods, debts to pitas, debts to rishis. But if one engages in the service of Supreme Lord, the personality of God, who is actually worshipable, then even without trying to liquidate others' debt, one becomes free from all obligation. Kardamani preferred to devote his life as a servant of Lord in Paramahamsa knowledge, to beget a child only for the purpose, not to beget numberless children to fulfill the vacuum of the universe. One more thing, na? Pure devotional service only few people can do. That we can do, that's why we should do. Other things na everybody can do. This dharma fighting na anybody can do. But pure devotional service, very, 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 very rare souls. Let us do pure devotional service. Others cannot do. Uh, any questions, comment on this? Okay, the question may be, it is Vedic life, so it may not be applicable at this time of Kali Yuga, but whatever. Yeah, we 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 have to follow pure devotional service. Who is doing pure devotional service? Very few people are doing. Let us do pure devotional service. Now, others anyway they are going to fight. There are lakhs of people who are going to fight for that. We have to do pure devotional service because this is rarest and very rare people are doing it. Okay, I apologize if I hurt somebody's feeling, but I feel pure devotional service is rare. Prabhupada did not do any of these things. Even these things were happening in Prabhupada time also. It happened Bhaktivinoda Thakur time, Second World War. Bengal famine happened when the Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. And it was, and partition happened that time when Prabhupada was there. But he knows this is all happened and how many people died. You don't see Prabhupada writing so much against Muslims, these, that, politicians. He's preaching pure devotional service. Okay, I'm sorry, Harish. Thank you all very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.